What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NFL Turf Talk. We are live here, as always, on the DSM Media Twitter channel, as well as the DSM Turf Talk YouTube channel. So, first and foremost, make sure to check us out on Twitter. You can find us at DSM_media. Make sure to hit that follow button. And then, of course, if you want to be interactive throughout today's show or any one of our live streams, like Scotty is showing you how to do, like Warren's is doing in the comments right now with his Rams kicking off in a few hours, like Mrs. Scotty is doing right now, make sure to tap into the YouTube link specifically. The link is in our bio in the link tree on X. Subscribe to all three YouTube channels. That's the DSM Philly one, that's the Scotty Talks NBA one, and of course, for all of your NFL content, the DSM Turf Talk YouTube channel. Tap in, subscribe, share the video, like the video, whatever you got to do to continue to help us grow.
Yes,
We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. It is championship weekend in the NFL. The AFC kicks things off in just about an hour out in Denver, where Jarrett Stidham will be taking on Drake May and the New England Patriots. You get chalk out in the AFC, man. You get 1 versus 2. Out in the NFC, a little different. You get your number 1 seed, Seattle Seahawks playing at home, but they get NFC West division rival Rams. Crazy rematch from a few weeks ago in that OT win by Seattle. One of the craziest 2-point conversion, fumble, touchdown, whatever you want to call it, backwards pass, whatever. We'll see if we get any more magic today in that game. I texted you earlier. I'm having a little bit of a difficult time getting up for this first game specifically.
Yeah,
and I just been thinking back to the backup quarterback, right? And it's Jarrett Stidham. And Nick Foles is sending out positive messages on Twitter. And we've seen it. We lived it as Eagles fans, as Philly fans, just the town of the underdog, the town of the backup quarterback, right? We know how important it is. Let's start here in the AFC, man. Jarrett Stidham hasn't taken a game snap since the preseason.
Yeah.
It's January 25th. He hasn't taken a snap since August in game action. I know you're back and forth. I'm sure there's a lot of people probably back and forth. The line's only 3.5 right now favoring New England.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say this game's going to be a blowout. I know it's in Denver. I know what Denver's defense can do. I know Drake May put the ball on the ground like 4 or 5 times against Houston's defense last week. This game could get mucked up in weird ways. There could be defensive scores, special team scores. I don't know how Jarrett Stidham and that offense moves the ball. I get it, Sean Payton. I know he's had a history with backup quarterbacks and coming up with great game plans in the biggest matchups. I don't know how they get it done. Obviously, I'm getting ahead of myself with prediction, but I'm all over New England today, just to preface this conversation.
Okay. I definitely get that perspective. I do agree. Ultimately, they have the MVP candidate on their side, right? And on the other side, it's not just that you don't have an MVP candidate. You don't even have your starting quarterback.
Right.
Which this game would obviously be a completely different ball game if Bo Nix was involved in it. I do feel you, Stidham. I was looking it up. I was like looking for some like example of play. He hasn't played meaningful ball since 2023. It was with the Broncos at the end of the season, 20 for 32 against the Chargers, 224, 1 touchdown. Then against Las Vegas, 272, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Now, I'm just thinking about that Denver defense. I'm thinking about, can they turn Drake May over? After what we saw with Drake May last week, fumbling the ball, a little ball insecurity, right? He only lost 2 of them, but there was 4 total. And I do look at that as an opportunity. I look at what Denver was able to do to Josh Allen last week, especially when they like to get out of the pocket. They like to scramble.
Yeah.
They were knocking the ball out of his hands. They're very opportunistic. They were able to turn Josh Allen over, 4 times?
They sure were.
5 total for the Buffalo Bills. I get it. The Bills still scored 30 points in that game. It's Josh Allen, though, right? That's the other side of Josh Allen.
That's how you get
Drake May. I do want to see it today against arguably the best defense in the NFL. He just did it last week against the Texans. Now, you had C.J. Stroud on the other side there last week, though, throwing 4, at least 3 of those were just moronic.
Right back to you.
Moronic interceptions, right? And then I think you had a Woody Marks fumble in there as well. So you're talking about 5 turnovers. Can Jarrett Stidham just play like a an average game or a cash like a
Yeah.
just be a 0. I think I talked about that earlier in the week. Don't be a -10. Be a 0 today. And I think with that defense, there's an opportunity. If Drake May comes out and plays like the MVP candidate that he's played like all season, he's rightfully in that conversation, then yes, the Patriots will win this game today. To be fair, I've gone back and forth. You said it earlier. I definitely have off the air earlier today, man. I was going with the Broncos. I'm staying away from betting wise, like the either or.
Picking a side, sure.
I just, you know what it is, man. If the Patriots, and I get why they're not, underdogs going into this. I get it. Even though the Broncos are at home. If it was just like -1.5, something like that, under 3, maybe 2.5. I don't know. The line's what, 3.5 right now?
Yeah,
maybe
it opened at 4.5. It's actually dropped towards Denver's side to 3.5.
I just don't want to be on the other side of that, like heroic Broncos performance, maybe a special teams touchdown, some bullshit, where they're just playing out of their minds today. Because that's the thing. It's just one game that you have to do it. And maybe they do it this game and then they get to the Super Bowl and they look like shit. And, sometimes that is how it goes, man. But yeah, I guess it's like, I want to root for the Broncos just because I hate the Patriots. But at the same time, you do see the quarterback. You want that quarterback matchup at the end of the day. You don't want to see Stidham, right? And I don't need to see Jared Stidham. I do believe Drake May is that MVP caliber quarterback.
Again, I know I referenced Nick Foles and that ridiculous story back in 2017, and I'm sure there was people out there, man, that championship weekend, especially when Blake Bortles was representing the AFC against Tom Brady, right? It could have been Blake Bortles and a backup in Nick Foles. I'm sure there's people out there that weren't fans of the Eagles saying, I don't need to see Nick Foles. The problem is Nick Foles was playing against Case Keenum in that game. So you're getting one of the two in the Super Bowl, okay?
And Nick Foles played an entire stretch
correct
until that point.
That is the major difference here. This isn't, and I know like you referenced that like he has played in the National Football League. Right. He has thrown for 270 plus yards. He has thrown touchdowns at this level. It's just the layoff in time in which he has not played a meaningful game, even just the layoff this year. Dude, I would sing a 2% different tune if he got in a game in a blowout in week 7 and 11, right? Like if he played in the
one
fourth
game
quarter
at the end of the
season. He hasn't been under center to take a snap since the preseason in August. That is a long time. You are, to your point, right? Like, would you take Denver's defense over New England's? Yeah. Would you take Houston's defense over New England's? Yeah. Would you probably take Seattle's defense over New England's? Yeah. New England's defense is still a top 10. They're probably like a top 8 unit, right? Around that area. Still a very, very, very good and opportunistic defense. And he's just not the guy that I would look to that gives you any glimmer of a hope. To your point, you don't want to be on the wrong side because it's just going to make the game that much more unenjoyable. From a gambling perspective, if you do take the Broncos plus 3.5 and they can't do anything, or you do take the Patriots and Drake May throws 2 interceptions in the first quarter and Denver's up 7-0, like it's going to get frustrating from that standpoint. The only thing that I would throw your way in regards to Denver's defense, and don't get me wrong, it's a hell of a unit. It's top 5 in the National Football League. They do get the leverage of playing at home, playing in Mile High today. When you did reference that Buffalo game, I get your point. Like, they caused 5 turnovers. That's credit to the defense. Even with being so opportunistic and turning them over 5 times, with Drake May, it took an overtime field goal to win by 3, and you gave up 30 points still.
Or with Bo Nix.
With Bo Nix.
Yeah.
It's too different. It's just a big difference. It's a big, obviously, drop off. And I don't trust it. I don't trust Jarrett Stidham at all. People can try to talk themselves into Sean Payton, into all that. No Troy Franklin I saw before we went live for Denver today. So that's another piece out on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, no, I'm on New England here. You did text me about a bet. Walk me through this if you want to give it out here. If you did
Yeah.
have to lay a play in this game.
Yeah, and this was, one of these things where I looked at it regardless of who wins the game. Ultimately, I think this is something that's going to hit. And like I said, I think Drake May is going to have to come out. It's going to have to perform today. I don't think the Broncos are just going to roll over and let the New England Patriots run all over them today, right? Even though they have a backup quarterback in. I think they're going to lock in on the run. And I think they will try to force the Patriots into situations where they can, try to get after Drake May and force those turnovers, those fumbles, those sack strips. But ultimately, I do think Drake May will shine through in the sense of just having like a casual day for his standard. I think he will have to make some throws, and I think he will make those throws today. The other thing I'm looking at with Denver defense, you pointed it out earlier as well. They are number 2 specifically against the run. So they'll come out. They'll be able to stop the run this week. They should be at least. Right. And I do think Drake May will have to make a few throws. 220, he averaged 260, 258 on the season, something like that. It's one of those games where you go out here, if you're the Patriots, you're going to win this game today against the Broncos at home. Your MVP candidate quarterback is going to come out. He's going to win it for you. And I think they're going to be forced into a situation like that.
Bird Gang's tapping in right now. Pats are going to roll on them against Denver. I kind of agree. It's weird to say that in an AFC Championship type of game. It's weird to say that with a defense that's on the other side of the ball. Like, is it possible to roll on a team like that? That's the big question. But really, I think the question is, what is the definition of roll them today, right? Because blowouts can be two different things. Like, by most people's standards, you would assume that means New England 30, Denver 13, right? What if New England beats them 20-3? Still beat the dog piss out of them, but it's not like they ran all over that defense and did whatever they wanted to offensively. So, yeah, I agree with the overall statement that New England's going to roll into the Super Bowl. And I'll say this. I know they weren't expecting to be here probably at the start of the year. No one was probably picking them at the start of the year. I know I wasn't. It would be the ultimate it would be a catastrophe if they don't make the Super Bowl this year.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Can Jared Stidham come out and play nerve-free football?
I do. Before we move on, I want to talk about one point that you made, and I agree. I'm trying to figure out where my mind's going with it. You mentioned it to me the other day. You mentioned it to me earlier in the show about if Jared Stidham can just be a zero because of the other quarterback performances we've seen this postseason that are killing their teams in one possession losses, in overtime losses. If you just protect the football with that defense,
because that's how the Pats rolled him. He turns the ball over, they score quickly, and then they're able to run.
Correct. Like what CJ Stroud did last week.
Right.
The question is, in an AFC title game, is it good enough for your quarterback just to be a zero, just a complete nothing? Like, he doesn't turn the ball over, but they're not really accomplishing anything on offense. That's my question. Like, I agree with you. He damn sure can't afford to cough it up multiple times.
Right.
But they also have to come up with multiple positive plays.
It can't be landslide time of possession. They're going to have to run the football today as well, right? I didn't say that at all earlier, I don't think. But I'm insinuating with the backup quarterback, you are going to have success running the football.
And let me ask you, man, how do you do that? How do you do that against Vrabel's defense that knows a backup quarterback is under center today? How do you get them to not stack the box? Jared Stidham has to come out and complete passes early. That's what has to happen.
Yeah, he's going to have to make some throws. And I do think it is about this Denver defense. How did they show up early? Are they able to keep this game close early? Let Stidham get comfortable in the football game, because to your point, hasn't played meaningful football since a couple seasons now. Let's just say that. And so he is going to want to get some proper footing. I'm sure Sean Payton's going to want to see him make some easy throws before he starts giving him some more, depth with the playbook. So, I do think to that point, it can't just be a zero. But if he comes out, he turns the ball over, it will be a Patriots rolling type of day. Yeah. My question is, man, will May can have a great game, and he can still turn the ball over twice.
Yeah.
And so I'm just if you cannot put the Broncos in good situations offensively. You can't gift them opportunities for points. It is ultimately why I lean back towards the Patriots. So I am going with the MVP candidate. I'm going with that offense that just has more to work with today. The other setback, man, it is Denver. I know like the altitude affects people differently. It's just it's a weird game. It's a weird game for me to pick a team to roll, but I guess in that sense, what other situation do you need if you're a Patriots fan to think that you're going to win this game by however many points? Like, this is a proper situation for the Patriots.
This game comes down to one word to me, and that word's respect, right? Will Mike Vrabel and that New England defense come out and respect Jarrett Stidham? And if not, how do Sean Payton and Jarrett Stidham make New England to respect them and respect their pass attack today? And if they can't, it is a long day at the office for that Denver offense. But at the same time, like you mentioned, that defense is good enough to keep you in the game, man. I'm trying to see here. Denver, Colorado. I'm on ESPN.com. I see 28 degrees, and I see rain. Is that rain? Snow. Now, I don't know how much they're getting there.
Who does that favor, in your opinion?
I mean, it's got to favor Denver a little bit, right? It's got to favor the team that wants to take the ball out of the quarterback's hand.
Yeah.
They're not getting much, so it says
Do I not lay the over in Drake May passing?
Right. It says according to an inch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Earlier, it didn't look
I don't know. We can look that up before, look that up responsibly before you place any wagers.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't look like it's going to affect anything, but it is cold. It feels like 13 apparently right now. It feels like 17 right now in Denver, Colorado.
Patriots should be used to that, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
From Foxborough, they just played in snow last week against Houston. It shouldn't be a thing. It really is. Right. And they should have hyper-focused. I'm sure they hyper-focused on protecting the football this week. I'm sure.
But what's a colder element in Mile High due to those lungs? Like, I don't. What do you think? Like, you think that
I have asthma, so regular.
I'm saying, remember gym class, like when it would be like a cold morning, you'd be running outside, and like the cold like would stiffen, like you get your chest stiffen up a little bit more. Like Mile High is already a difficult place to play.
You know what I think of? I think of the trenches, right? The defensive line, the offensive line. As that game goes on, huffing and puffing out there in the cold. It can wear you down if you're not used to it. But like that's the type of shit that I'm getting into in order to like give the Broncos a chance. Like that's what the Patriots are going up against.
The last thing I would say, man, is as a football fan, even if you're an Eagles fan, if you're an AFC East team, if you're a Colts fan, whatever, there's multiple fan bases. Everybody most likely hates the New England Patriots because of all the success they had under Tom Brady and Bill Belichick for all that time, right? If you are a football fan, you do not root for the Denver Broncos to pull it out today. You can't do it. You can't do it. You're telling me you wouldn't rather hate watch New England and Drake May in the Super Bowl and get to see a better team play in the Super Bowl than watch Jarrett fucking Stidham have to play on Super Bowl Sunday? We may be in if they win the first game, you may be staring down the barrel of Jarrett Stidham versus Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl. No, I want Matthew Stafford versus Drake May in the Super Bowl. I want the two MVP candidates on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like I know two specific fans. I got a Broncos fan friend and I got a Rams fan. Obviously, Wardo turns into the pod all the time. It's like it's a confusing conference championship weekend when it comes to rooting.
The Bo Nix injury screwed everything.
It did. I don't know. Like the hater in me, like I don't need Drake May winning a championship this early in his career. That's the hater in me for sure. That is the hater.
All right, let's go.
Same thing with Darnold, though. I guess
I was going to say what I was going to say. I'm being honest with you, bro. By saying that leaves one possible quarterback that you would be okay with winning, and that's Matthew Stafford.
No, Jared Stidham.
No, I think that goes against everything. That would go against everything, no?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, as an Eagles fan, as a Jalen Hurts supporter, we have to deal with morons and idiots all the time talk down about the reigning Super Bowl MVP. If Jared fucking Stidham steps in and wins a Super Bowl, I mean, that is a dent in the armor, my man. It's not easy to win a Super Bowl.
Stafford is the non-dent in the armor. That, to your point, as an Eagles fan, Stafford is the non-dent in the armor. I don't know. I'm just thinking about my boy Jay. He was up here with us during the Super Bowl last year, rooting for the Eagles. He even went down to the parade with us. He's a Broncos fan. He's from Denver and everything. And I'm just thinking about it. That's my natural bias to root
my
for
apologies, Jay, but I'm just telling you, my man.
I get for entertainment value. I get it. I say all of this, and then we get to the Super Bowl, and we're talking about Stidham versus Darnold or Stafford, and
your mom, Mrs. Scotty says Stafford's too old. Go Seahawks. Mrs. Scotty, that's the MVP of the league you're talking about right now.
He was all pro Phillip Rivers earlier in the season. That's what confused me. She was in the comments with "Go Phillip," but Stafford's too old.
The MVP right now.
That is the thing. You would get the two MVP candidates against each other if you get the Pats and the Rams, man. That's what it comes to.
I won't be mad if her prediction is Paige. Like, that's the thing for me. I know I'm really, really kicking your friend Jay right now. Denver is the non-qualifier. Denver is the team I can't have in the Super Bowl. I will take New England, Seattle. I will really love New England, LA. I can't have Denver. I can't have Denver, Seattle. I'll put it that way.
How do you feel about Darnold potentially winning a Super Bowl?
It's a chink in the armor, man.
It is.
It's not good.
That is not good. That's not good for the. That's not good for the Jalen Hurts.
Let me tell you this. It's not good if Stafford wins today. If Darnold wins today, Sam Darnold, 1 seed. All right, they win a home game against the 49ers. They go, and then they lose the next game. Doesn't really do anything in terms of, quarterback speak, quarterback talk.
Yeah.
Right? Good on him that he's got the 1 seed and he's in the NFC Championship game. But if he goes to the Super Bowl or wins the Super Bowl, that's a whole different level. That's a whole different conversation.
No, I completely agree, though.
Yeah.
But,
let's get to that game.
You talked me into it. I was on the fence, man. My heart's rooting for the Broncos, but
that's fine.
Mine says, Patriots are gonna win. But let's get into the other game, brother.
Much better game.
I would say so. I do think it's going to be entertaining. I really do think this game will be.
I think so too. I think so. Let's go back here, right? They've played 2 games this year, obviously being in the same division, and those 2 games were split and separated by a total of 3 points. So the Rams get the first win at home, 21-19 against Seattle. And then obviously a few weeks ago, I believe that was Thursday Night Football. I know it was primetime. I think it was Thursday. I'm sure week. That it was 38-37 overtime. Darnold's a mess in the first half, leads a comeback. There's a punt return for Seattle. The crazy 2-point conversion that would have been that they thought the play was over. It's a backwards pass that gets tipped for. Just a lot of weird, crazy shit that went on in this game. And Seattle pulls out the late victory, which really kind of changed a little bit of a tune when it came to Sam Darnold. Not because he played out of his mind. Obviously, he was a reason they were in a hole in the first place. But then, just from his own demons, just to get over that hump in his own mind, to turn around and find a way to win that game in front of his home fans was big. How do they take that into this game, man? When you talk about Jarrett Stidham being a 0, and I question whether that's good enough in a title game for a team to win. I think that's exactly what Seattle needs Sam Darnold to be today. I think they need Sam Darnold to be as close to a 0 with 2 to 3 spot throws, 2 to 3 plays that Sam Darnold makes, whether it's a 3rd down conversion, a 4th down conversion, a red zone pass that results in a touchdown, whatever it is. Sam Darnold's got to make less than a handful of throws today. Not turn the football over, not take sack after sack after sack and put the ball on the ground. If they do that with Kenneth Walker, I know Zach Charbonnet, but that rushing attack with that line, that defense at home, Seattle has a very good chance to win that game.
Yeah, no, and I think that has to be the recipe today. The only thing that I would argue versus the Stidham being a 0 and Darnold is that on the other side today, I just have a little bit of faith that Matthew Stafford is going to come out today and perform. I will say, you asked what can you kind of take from that matchup? It was 38-37 in Seattle. They win it in OT. I think what you can take from it is that you went head-to-head with an MVP-level Stafford. He had 457 passing yards in this game, 3 tutties, no interceptions. Puka had 225 receiving yards in this game, 2 touchdowns. Puka was on his all-AP stuff in that game as well. And they still were able to weather the storm in that game and come out with a W. Darnold did throw 2 INTs. He had 270 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. JSN was able to do his thing. Kenneth Walker was able to do his thing in both matchups. Now, how does the dynamic of the defense change when you don't have Charbonnet? It's going to be full-time Walker. How does that change the dynamic a little bit? But I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think the Seahawks will be able to come out and hide Sam Darnold today. I think Matthew Stafford is going to pull him out of his shell. Now, I'm not saying that he wants to come out of it or that he's going to perform well, but he's shown us 2 different sides, right? In a sense, he's thrown 6 interceptions against them this season.
I was just about to look at that and get into that, man.
It's like he has shown us 2 different sides, but on both sides, he did turn the ball over. So I don't think at the same time, a 30-plus point game is not the game they want to be playing against the Rams, right? Like, that's not the recipe, but
no.
It's the way they won.
Yeah. I think the Rams are his kryptonite. I think it's, obviously Matthew Stafford being on the other side of the ball and moving the ball and coming away with 7s and not 3s is going to be a difference maker in this game. And it's going to drag Sam Darnold into deep waters like you're talking about. But that Rams defense is not different. Seattle, I would take Seattle's defense over LA's, but they do something to him. Like I know they won the game on that Thursday night matchup. You just talked about it. He threw 2 picks in that game. He threw 4 picks and no touchdowns in the 2-point loss that they suffered in LA earlier in the year. Yeah. Last year, 14-win Minnesota Viking team, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, all those weapons. What happened to Sam Darnold in LA in the wild card round? Now, I don't remember how many times he turned the ball over. If anything, I just kind of remember like 9+ sacks in that game. Yeah. A safety, I think. Yeah. Or a fumble towards his own end zone, something.
Yeah.
The Rams in their last 3 games have turned have turned Sam Darnold into a scared head case who turns the football over at will. And if that happens today, they are in for a long, long day. To D-Rab's point, man, I disagree. I do disagree. He doesn't let the losses affect him. I know he's done a lot of winning the last 2 years. It's back-to-back 14-win seasons for him. So I guess technically he doesn't let the losses affect him. But buying into the hype train, I'm not saying that they haven't – I'm on LA. No, I'm on Sam Darnold, excuse me. I'm not saying he hasn't played well. Very efficient last week, but like his last 2 games, he threw for 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 198 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So in the last 2 weeks, 1 including a playoff game, he's averaging like 160 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Yeah,
dude's not balling out.
And now
on any level, like they're keeping him safe. They are protecting Sam Darnold. If they are forced to let Sam Darnold have to lead them today, I think it's tough.
Because you look at those last 2 games specifically, right? And what happened? It was the 49ers in both of those games. I'm guessing the end of the season, or no, maybe did he play in the last week of the season? I don't know if I'm tripping there.
So he played Carolina no. I'm sorry. I'm missing the playoff game. I am missing the playoff game. So Carolina on 12-28, San Fran on 1-3, And then San Fran in the playoffs, which this playoff game, he was 12 for 17 for 124 yards, 1 touchdown.
24, yeah, I thought so.
So he has thrown for 147, 198, and 124 in his last 3 weeks. He has not thrown the ball a ton over the last 3 weeks. They're running the ball, playing good defense. That's not a knock on him. I'm just saying if he's forced to do otherwise today, it's not going to be in Seattle's favor.
Yeah. And I think it also obviously requires Matthew Stafford going out and giving up a few turnovers, right? Like I think you look at those past performances where they are able to hide him. It's in games where they're able to turn the other team over. They started the last game with a kick return touchdown. So, I mean, yeah, if they start like that, then, yeah, it's going to put the Rams in a tough spot. I think that is a key for the Rams going into this game.
Correct.
Man. You got to score early. Score early. Get that offense going. Because you score early in Seattle, that defense, they're great. They're maybe the best defense in the NFL. They're electric. Do not get me wrong, man. You go out there and you score early. You score in the first possession. It's going to calm that shit down really quick.
Yeah.
You had
you and I are in agreement
with the kickoff return touchdown.
I think you and I are in agreement going, at looking at what D-Rab and Mrs. Scotty are saying here, because it's not like I'm not trying to come for Sam's throat here. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's not a reason that his team was the 1 seed. What I'm trying to explain here is, this whole hype train or baller status or whatever, if I can promise one thing, and if I'm wrong, I will eat my words and we will discuss it later in the week and you guys can tune in and rip me a new one. Sam Darnold is not going out there today and balling the fuck out in a win to go to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold ain't going out there and going 23 of 29 for 260, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, and Seattle wins this football game. It ain't happening. He's either going to play like he played last week. He's going to throw for 160, a touchdown, no turnovers. They run the ball well. They play defense, and they win a close game. Or if he's taken in the deep waters and has to go head-to-head against number 9 on the other side, he's going to turn the ball over. He's going to take sacks.
Let me ask you this. Do the Rams' first 2 playoff games worry you a little bit going into this matchup?
Yeah, for sure.
Carolina
I said it to you the other day. That they have not. They're 2-0. Obviously, they gotten to this point. They have not played sound, solid football through the first 2 games. Now, there's differences, right? Like last week, you were playing in arguably one of the coldest football games ever in Chicago. Yeah. Grind it out, win by 3 in overtime, 2017. Nothing crazy, but like we talked about, it took a Matthew Stafford 2-minute drill to beat the Carolina Panthers in the wild card round.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not a great look. Yeah. And then to beat Caleb Williams through 3 interceptions, and it took an overtime victory for you to win by 3. Not a terrific look. Yeah. Now you're here. Something in LA has to change today.
Yeah. No, I do agree. And I do think we see Matthew Stafford today. That's where I'm at. Yeah, JSN has done his thing in both of the matchups against the Rams. I'm not going to argue that he's going to do that he's not going to do his thing. I just think, it's going to take that and more. It's going to take Kenneth Walker having a game. It's going to take Sam Darnold making some throws. AJ Barner getting involved in the passing game, right? And they have done it. It's not hating on them. I think this is going to be a close game. I think that home field is going to be rocking. I think they're going to be excited out there. I think that defense will make some plays. I just think it's Rams. What's the weather like out there? What's the weather like today?
44 and partly sunny. It looks like partly cloudy in Seattle, Washington.
No weather implications. If the Rams come out here and score less than 21 points today, like you just said, come out, you can come rip me a new one, literally, because the Rams are going to score points in the NFC Championship without weather implications inhibiting them. I do think they're going to be able to score points today.
I mean, they basically scored against us in a blizzard last year. Stafford had the ball and went down the field. To Warren's
point, be relieved to be out of the cold from Chicago.
When I first saw his comment, I forgot for a second that he was a Rams fan. That's why maybe it's a little defensive. But won all the games to get here. I do agree with you. Yeah. But I think as a Rams fan, you're just happy for the win. You're giving Carolina a little too much. The Panthers made the playoffs. Congratulations. You were 11-point favorites. It took a 2-minute drill to beat them. Like that's not a good look. I get it. I agree with you. It's playoffs. When you go home, you do whatever it takes to win the football game. I'd be happy as a fan. I'm telling you, you're 11.5-point favorites. It shouldn't take a Matthew Stafford miracle at the end of the game to beat the Carolina Panthers in the wild card.
We can't ignore what Seattle did to San Fran last weekend as well, right? Like, what was it, 41 to some shit? Like, it put up 41 to 6. So you can't ignore that. But once again, that's the train going off the motherfucking rails. Like, kick return to start the game. Then a defensive touchdown, I think, happened as well.
Yeah.
It was just, if that type of shit happens today, then by all means, Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. Hell yeah. Like, if they're able to do that game to game, I just think it's going to take a little bit more than that today. It's not going to be like gimmicks. It's not going to be, hiding Sam Darnold. It's going to be Sam Darnold stepping up to the plate today and making some plays to earn his team a chance in the Super Bowl. It's
Listen,
not
man.
Anything other than that.
Listen, man. Home field definitely matters, especially in the playoffs. Y'all in the comments are giving home field a little too much value. Speaking of the Panthers, did we see their stadium? Yeah, it wasn't even top 20 in playoff experiences I viewed on TV before. And
it's the 12th man, Dylan.
No, Seattle is a different beast. It does matter. It's the NFC Championship. The place going to be rocking, just like we talk about the Link rocking and the Bank rocking in Red October.
He's going to return it again for
no one's saying he can't, but the if you gave it a percentage of likelihood, he's got about a 6% chance or less of running the opening kickoff. Probably less. It's probably
and if that happens, then sure. I mean, whatever, man. Like,
and Remy, let me just say this, brother, because I'm picking the Rams with you today.
Yeah.
To wrap it up.
Yeah.
So I know it sounds like I'm attacking the boys. I'm picking the Rams to win the game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't play like you did in Carolina, or you're not going to win the game.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, I feel you. What do you like in this game, though? What do you like in this game?
What is the total at? I do like the total's too low. Not too 45? Low. I mean, I get it. You're looking at it. It's an NFC Championship game. These teams to see each other so much in the same division. Both defenses can turn it on at any point, but yeah, I would all it to maybe you can all it to 45 flat or 44.5. Not that I don't know, because a 24-21 game you'd win then or something like that.
I like 40. Yeah, 45. Yeah, like you said, 44.5.
Depending on how much of a drop off you get on the line, then maybe you don't take it that way. But yeah, that's kind of what I would look at. It is a very difficult game to pick, man. I mean, obviously, I'm saying I like the Rams to win. My question is this. All right, I'll preface this. You either take Seattle -2.5 or you take the Rams money line.
Right.
I don't think there's a point in taking the Rams +2.5. I know that sounds silly. Maybe the Rams are up by 1 and something funky happens at the end of the game and Seattle kicks a field goal and wins by 2 and we would have won the +2.5. I don't see it going down that way. I think Seattle, either their defense plays very well, they control the ball and they win by anywhere from 6 to 10 points. Or the Rams win this game by a touchdown or something like that. So
I do feel you. I feel you. And I do think by the way, I'm with you on the over, just to be clear. That is what I was looking at as well. I am considering, we'll see how the early game goes, right? If we're able to cash some slips in the early game. I am looking at the Rams money line. When I looked at this game, I was just looking at value, quite honestly. You get the Rams money line plus money. You get Matthew Stafford, MVP candidate, chance to win his second ring. It's going to be a huge marker in his career. Same thing for Sean McVay. Same thing for the Rams as an organization. This is a huge, huge moment. Not to say that it isn't for the Seahawks. It's not to say that.
Yeah.
It's just in these moments of greatness, I'm going to trust the Hall of Famer in this case. And
the Hall of Famer that is currently still playing at the highest level in all of football, right? It's not just the legacy that's still there, right? Oh, Sam Darnold versus a guy who's been here before. It's a guy who's been here before that's leading the league in everything, basically.
That throw to Adams down the stretch last week. I mean, he's 38 or 37, however old he is, whatever. that throw is just ridiculous, man. You give them a little bit better weather today. You got a young Seahawks team on the other side, man. We'll see. I'm not doubting how good the Seahawks are.
I forget if it was a Rams O lineman or one of the Rams D linemen, but saying after that Carolina game, do y'all not know who 9 is? And it's true. It's true. And it's why I take such grace and pleasure in knowing that the Eagles have owned the Rams and Matthew Stafford recently.
So. He was the closest, to be fair, on that run to the Super Bowl last year. The Rams were the closest. I think if it's a tight game, Rams are going to win. I do like Puka touchdown today. I like big
it.
Game, big moments.
I like it. Puka man, as we wrap up here, I just got to say, I know I said I'm trying to get up for the game. You know, we're 20, 25 minutes from kickoff in Denver. So it'll start to kind of kick in, but I don't know how close I could have come to predicting this championship weekend if you gave me 10 tries before the season started. I really don't. The Rams, sure. The Rams are a team that was atop everyone's list in the NFC to start the year. What would have been Bo Nix versus Drake May in year 2 out in the AFC as the 1 and 2 seeds? Wouldn't have touched it. Wouldn't have thought about it. Sam Darnold in Seattle, we knew Seattle was good last year. Darnold played well last year. He gets paid, goes there. We knew they'd be better. The 1 seed and hosting the NFC Championship, I don't know. I don't think you could have given me 10 tries and said, "Hey, pick the NFC and AFC Championship games." You could 20 tries. I don't know. Wouldn't have got it. Yeah. But we got a Devontae Adams tutty. We got a JSN tutty.
Kenneth Walker
doing it for sharps.
Kenneth Walker does cook against the Rams for sure. I was looking at Cooper Kupp yards, man. He's at around 30 receiving yards, and he's been quality in the postseason so far.
All right. Against his former team in the slot.
I don't mind Adams. I mean, Adams and Puka could score today. Yeah. I think Puka big spot today, and sure, Seattle would be locked in on him. I'm sure of that. But I think in the red zone, teams have been they've been beefing up against Devontae Adams a little bit lately. But definitely anything can happen with Stafford. He's gonna throw it where it needs to go. JSN, I think JSN, that's a fair tutty as well. I just think the Rams should be hyper focused, but same thing with Puka. We'll see. Greatness always shines, right? Let's see if Sam Darnold can
prove them right in the comments and prove us wrong, man. Guys, with that said, Mrs. Scotty, Warrens, D-Rab, we appreciate the hell out of all of you. Anyone else that was watching, if you're watching on Twitter, obviously, there's much more of you over there. Make sure to just click the link tree in our bio. Go to the YouTube channel. It's the best and easiest spot to get interactive with us. And even if you don't want to comment, if you're shy, you don't care to comment, I don't know. Who'd rather watch a video on Twitter instead of YouTube? Just go watch it on YouTube. It's better. Helps us out. Subscribe. We will be back midweek discussing championship weekend. We'll obviously have the extended weekend before now and the Super Bowl, so we'll have lots of time to come up with some things to talk about. Faithful Fanatics will return tomorrow night as well, so tap into that YouTube channel and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Terry, I forgot about you. You were in here today too. Let's go have a Sunday. Hope everyone is staying warm, and peace out, everybody.
That was crazy. Peace, everyone.